Welcome to the Mamas and everybody. This is Ashley. I'm sitting over here looking at my girls, Felicia and Melanie, and they are summertime fine with these beautiful ass tans.
That was not planned
at all. We just been spending a lot of time together.
They over there glowing and showing. Both of y'all, your summer skin is glorious. These tans?
This is intentional.
Yes, your arm is very like golden, and your skin. Yeah, you've been in the sun.
You tan good.
I haven't done anything.
That's
just
how
existing.
Peach tans like that, and I'm like,
it's
dang.
pretty. It's really pretty. It's giving me island Barbie vibes.
Well, listen,
Yes.
you know, we work. I don't know what it is, but if the skin is gonna glow, I'll just take it because ain't nothing else glowing right now.
No, it's in me.
You
Okay,
really look good, Mel. I feel like you look like you're losing weight. I think because you see yourself every day, you can't tell. That's how it is. You know, when you look at yourself every day, you're like, you don't notice the difference.
My girlfriend said this to me the other day because I walked up to her and she was just like, "Okay, disappearing woman." I was like,
Yeah.
First of all, I could kiss you right
Your
now."
boobs look smaller.
My boobs are smaller, but what they're doing now is they're doing that soft floppy thing.
Girl, it's okay.
You
time for a boob job.
The pancake boobies, and I'm not feeling it.
And it's just
don't
like
worry
skin
about it.
inside
just
of the
skin. It's starting to happen.
Don't worry about it, girl. You can just get.
No, so yes,
No,
but
you want to like be able
No,
to
that's what I'm
bend over and all the
No,
skin
I'm
doesn't
saying
fly
get it
off the
done.
top.
I literally
Get it fixed. That's what I'm
woke
saying.
up the
Yeah.
other day and I was like, all right, if I had to choose one thing that I need to fix overnight, it would be these boobs.
Yes.
Right
Yeah.
away.
Yes.
Like everything else,
Everything else
like
you can hide and tuck.
looking pregnant, I could wear baggy clothes, but these
Yep.
boobies, I'm
Yeah.
over them. They're low. And the problem that's happening now is this bra is resting on my
Same.
stomach
Yep.
on the top because the skin is still soft.
Yep.
And I'm just like,
I get like a little chafe
yes,
there.
it gets chafed.
hurts.
If I lift
Yeah.
up my titties underneath, there's
It's
like
raw.
It's ugly. It's
Yeah.
not cute.
Put cocoa butter under there. I do. I had to get the shea butter, like the yellow shea butter that stinks.
Yeah,
And
like
I
a real raw.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And I take it and I just rub it underneath there, and then I put my bra on because my boobs, like my boob sweat, is like out of control.
Same.
Out of control. But I'm just gonna wait till I'm done breastfeeding, and I'm just gonna get my boobs done. I decided, like,
Yeah.
I'm find the best person. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Then you
get
put
a
in sound effects here.
reduction
Yeah.
and a lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have so much breast fat that like I might not even have to get an implant in there.
But no, I feel that. I mean, we talked about
Let's
this
go
too.
together.
We were, girl,
I'm gonna go
I got a
get our-
consultation with Felicia's doctor.
Oh.
The best. It's the
Well, yeah, I
best.
have to wait though, so you're probably gonna y'all just gonna be
I'll let you know how it
popping
is.
before because
What
until
time
I'm
had a
done
kid?
breastfeeding.
Oh,
No,
I
No,
just had to ask.
but
No,
actually,
our
you look
friends
amazing.
asked
Your
us that-
arms, everything is like, yes.
Both of you guys look great.
no.
All I know-
I was looking
You
at
guys
pictures
look
of me
so
pregnant. Like, damn, bitch, how you look better pregnant than you do now?
Shut up. No.
All I know
mess.
is that when we taped last year, and we were talking, and I was like, and Felicia was like, yeah, I'm gonna go do it. And I was like, man, this is so inspiring. I was like, because I'm terrified. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
actually
I am too.
terrified of
I
it.
am
Like, I
scared.
actually don't want it. I never wanted it. I wake up every day and I'm just like, how much longer do you want to live like this?
No, for real.
Because I feel so uncomfortable in my
Yeah.
body.
And
No,
it's
I
like,
get
we're
it.
still young.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes,
We're
And
still
girl.
young.
it's not even a matter of like vanity from this perspective. It's how
Like,
I feel
like
in
mental
my
health.
body.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
And it's crazy. And then I was having a conversation with you the other day, and then like something else came up, and then something else came up, and then I got an ad on Instagram which was like, tired of your lifeless body looking like this, and it was an ad for like waist cinchers and like body shapers, and I was like, wow. I was like, this algorithm
It's crazy.
is
It's
fucking with
creepy.
our mental,
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
don't like it. And I really had a moment where like I had to step back and say, what is this obsession that we have? It's not our fault. It's how we've been programmed for us to want right away our bodies to not look like they had babies.
Girl, yes.
Like mentally, like I'm sitting here being like, when we get pregnant, we look for the bump. We worship the bump. Everybody's like the bump, the bump, the bump. And then like when the baby's not there anymore, immediately we're just like, well, I want my body to look like I didn't have no babies.
Yep.
But we did have babies. And I found myself feeling guilty of this. Like I was
Yeah.
like, this obsession for me to feel a way that I used to look,
Yeah.
when it's not actually the body that is now. Like that body that I'm still trying to hold on to or think about when I was 31, like I'm sitting here being like, girl, that body didn't have no babies.
Girl, right.
So like your body should look like you had a baby. And if it doesn't, amazing. And God bless your genetics and God bless how that worked out for you. That's just not my story.
Yeah.
It's not my testimony. So
I
like,
don't know. I think because it's probably our environment. I think about in some cultures how like women, if you think about how they used to draw women and how they used to like worship women with curves and like
Yes, bellies.
Yes, and like in some cultures it's a sign of honor to have stretch marks. Like that's the sign that they know that you're a mother, and then you get treated a special way. Like yes, you don't have to tell anybody you have kids because you might have stretch marks or your breasts are sagging, and that's like those are mothers, like, you know, we honor
They
them.
fed the village.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then somewhere along the lines, because like, even if you think about it, it's so crazy. I was looking at that whole thing when they were talking about like Kim Kardashian losing weight to fit into Marilyn Monroe's dress, right? But Marilyn Monroe was like supposed to be curvy. And then I'm looking like, they are both really tiny women.
tiny.
Yeah.
Like, that's curvy, you
Yeah.
know? But they were always like saying, oh, she's such a
Voluptuous
woman. And I'm like, but even
By the
still,
way-
Size 6.
By the way,
that's tiny.
yeah. I'm like, that's super tiny.
she had plastic surgery. Marilyn Monroe.
She did?
She sure did. People don't talk about it, but she sure did.
What did she get done?
I think she got her body liposuctioned or something because she used to be, I think, thicker, but she had stuff done to sculpt her body.
Oh, they had that back then?
They had liposuction. It wasn't that long ago if you think about it.
Oh, that's crazy.
They didn't have no cool sculpt or anything like that, but they
Shout out
definitely
to
had.
Cool
Yes, she
Sculpting.
did. Yes, she
Yes,
had
for
plastic
them now.
surgery. But that's also the other thing too that I think is also coming up too. Like, we're on social media and we're looking at all these refined faces
Yeah.
with refined bodies from apps, and
Girl.
women are getting micro treatments done and injections, and that's fine. Like, people could do whatever they want, but we as women, I think, look and see these things all day long and
Yeah.
feel the pressure to have to, well, maybe I should, and maybe
Well,
I
we don't even feel comfortable making videos without our real
Without a-
face.
Hello.
I'm myself included.
Let me tell you
I'm
something.
not fronting. Like, sometimes I'm like, when I turn it off the app, I'm like, swipe back over to
Yeah, because some of the
face
My
is
filters
good.
ain't been working lately.
Some of
I'm
the
like, what's going on here?
Yo, when they weren't working for that 2 days, when
I
they
was
like took
like-
all the filters, I was like, guess I won't be doing no
Right,
video.
I'm like, what's the solution?
only shooting in sunlight
You
because that's
won't-
the only way you can
you
do
won't
it.
be seeing my
Man,
face
right,
in this
a little
porch
glare.
lighting.
But I really do. It's been on my mind. It's been on my mind because Ashley and I, we talk about this all the time. Like, I've been working so hard, and not to like, I literally have no goal for myself other than to feel my best.
Yeah.
Like,
Girl, yes.
I'm about to be 40, okay? And
You
that
look- you
that's
look beautiful.
Thank you,
You
friend.
really do.
And,
40 is
and
great.
I
yeah,
know.
and I feel so young and vibrant in my spirit and my mind. But I know that I want to feel differently in my body.
Absolutely.
And so I literally, it's funny because before I got pregnant last year and I showed Ashley this video,
You were
I took a
tiny.
video of myself in the mirror and I was like, okay, so this is me, 38, not bad. I'm like, gotta lose skin from Cam, but
Girl,
you know,
she was
and I'm sitting here
tiny.
being like, well, we could be tighter.
Isn't that
And
crazy?
and that was the point when I was literally about to like go hard for the first time in my life about being super strict with like my diet, discipline, about working out, like just seeing how far I could push my body from a strength and wellness perspective.
yeah.
Like, I wanted to go hard. Then I got pregnant.
Right.
When I look back at that video and I think about my mindset of where I was when I made that video, I literally looked at myself and was still unhappy. I was still looking at myself thinking about who I was at 30 and
Yeah.
being like, this body is still 15 pounds heavier. And this skin is just a little too loose and sticking out on the stomach. And that is just, it's just not it. In my mental, even though I knew that like, okay, you still all right, I still wasn't satisfied. And so when I think now and I look back at that body and I'm like, God, I would kill to have that body.
You know
And girl,
what? It's crazy that you say that because that makes me think of Amira. So like with Amira, I remember like I was raised Muslim, so I didn't really show my body at all. I was really like almost 18 before I started wearing like shorts or anything like that. I've always been super conservative. And so I think that is associated with my body because like growing up in that culture, you don't focus on your body and the way it looks. And like other than ballet class, I was on drill team. I literally would have on baggy sweatpants, a hoodie, Jordans, go to the games. Like we were supposed to walk out cute and I would be like, I'm not allowed. Like I wasn't, you know what I mean? I wasn't really supposed to be on drill team because, you know, we had those little skimpy
Right.
things. I would have to wear that and then take it off right before I got on the field and come back and like put it back on. So like I never really like honored my body in that way or celebrated it like, oh dang, you look really good. So with Amira, I feel like Chia and I argue sometimes about her wearing a crop top, right? Because I'm like, yes, she's young, but I'm like, damn, your stomach will never look like that again. This 13-year-old fat, like this, like show it off. So for me, I'm always like, I don't want her to be like fast or anything
Right.
like that, but I want her to feel good about her body and
Just
look at it.
confident,
Yes,
yeah.
when she walks out the room, I'm like, you look so good, baby girl. Like you look beautiful. Like she's into fashion. And so I just think about like how a lot of us probably, specifically too in the Black culture, we're always told we're fast or we're blah, 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 or we're going to be this and that. So we don't even grow up in a way where we feel like we can celebrate our body. By the time we
Facts.
do it, we're grown. And then it's like we end up getting pregnant or something. So we're trying to like find this. I think that's why we're chasing like that youthful, like honoring yourself, wanting to look a specific way, because we have autonomy over our life, but it is like too late. Like, dang, why didn't I like love one? You know what I mean?
100%.
Never too late though.
No, you know what I mean. It's
never
too late
late.
in the sense like, we'll never have those bodies
You like,
back.
okay.
It's just you're in your best shape. It's still like you're never gonna have your 13-year-old metabolism where you eat whatever you want, go to class, work out, go to
back
like
to hot Cheetos. And it's like,
right.
Like, why am I running track eating Cheetos on the way to track practice and you still have abs? Like a mess. Yeah.
I feel like, so when I was younger, it's crazy thinking about it now. When I was younger, I definitely had body dysmorphia. I thought that I was way bigger.
Me too.
And then I look in photos and I'm like, oh my God, I look sick, you know? Like so tiny. And then even after peace, lost all my weight, got a 6-pack,
when
was
you
going
showed
very
that
hard.
one video of you like working on your mindful feast stuff, and it was like, I think you had just had, you were so tiny.
So
it
tiny.
It was like a throwback video, and I was like, y'all, I didn't even realize you were that
so
small.
tiny.
Yeah.
So I feel like after I had Zen, I mean, I think that when me and their father separated, I had to start therapy like intensely, and I had to address so many issues inside of myself, and so much came up, and the body thing was the whole thing. And I told my mom actually a couple weeks ago, I was like, cause she'll be like, okay, so like you're gaining a little weight, like not in a bad way, but she's like, you're getting older. This is a part of it. Like, it's okay. And I was like, Mom, I literally didn't realize that I had body dysmorphia.
Yes.
And I was like, and I actually was under eating like my whole life, because I would like cut and throw up and do the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
And my mom would just be like, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. And then when I was in high school, I went to school with a bunch of Caucasians that don't have any body. So I'm looking like, okay, maybe my body, like, why is my butt bigger? Why am I like have slight hips? And then after I got my surgery, I was like, when I eat and like happy weight and where I'm at now, I'm like, no, my body is staying right here. I was like, I think I've been under eating the whole time. And now I'm like, oh no, I'm turning into a woman.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, I love it here. And I'm like, and I feel sexy no matter what anybody else says or thinks, whatever. I'm like, but I had to learn to accept myself where I'm at. And I'm like, I still work out. I still eat very clean. I'm like, but when I allow my body to do what it's supposed to do, I'm like,
that's the only thing I would say about surgery is I wish these young girls would just wait until you get older. Wait until you have a baby. Then have one surgery versus having that. Because I have friends who've had breast jobs done when they were in their teen, 20, 19, 20. Then they had kids, had to get them done again. I'm just like, there's nothing wrong with surgery, but it's like your body changes, like you said, as you get older, your metabolism changes. You might get a little booty, get a little hip, and be happy with that. You know what I mean? But then it's like, if you get all that surgery before that happens, then you're going to be like, you don't know what you're going to look like or where that's going to go.
It's going to be a whole thing.
So that's why I'm always like, just wait till after you have kids. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, somebody will knock you up with that body. You're all right. Like,
girl, the way that my booty and hips are set up now, I'm like, oh, I love this.
That's what Chia said. He was like, do you want to lose weight?
I'm like, oh, I want to maintain where I'm at right here. You know, I'm like,
good.
I'm like, this feels good.
I have to be, I will say, I feel like you glow differently.
Yeah.
Like, and your body and like your woman, like the essence of being a woman, the way you carry yourself is just blossomed.
Yeah.
I feel like in this last year for sure.
It's very confident. You can tell that you love yourself.
And you can tell that you love your body and you honor your body. Like you really do. Like it, and it shows like when you get dressed, how you get dressed, how you show up. It's obvious. So like it's a beautiful thing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Because I'm like, I have worked so hard. There was even a point in time, like after I had peace, so I started to tan because obviously I got my mommy makeover tummy tuck. And I was like, I haven't showed, even when I was tiny, I didn't show my belly button or my stomach, like even years before I had peace.
Same.
And I was like, why was I never tanning my whole body? And it literally would be like, just a white stomach. And I'm like, why am I doing this?
I don't know if y'all saw this, but I did a post when I was pregnant, just like fresh with Kaya. And it was like one of those like, nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know how they're going to know. And I was in the gym and from the front, I didn't look pregnant. But then when I turned to the side, you see I was pregnant.
Oh, yes.
And,
I remember this.
And everyone was just like, sis, are you going to tan that belly? Because I literally have not showed my stomach to the sun for years. I mean, even as pre-pregnant, like pre-having children, I never walked around wearing crop tops and belly tops and stuff like that. Why? One, because I was raised to be like, don't show your body.
Yeah.
And then two,
Sexualizing it.
Yes,
Yep.
yeah. And then two, then after I got pregnant and I had that little loose skin,
Yep.
what I thought was such as an unsightly thing for myself. Like after having Cam, I literally am just like, that was nothing, girl. You should have been wearing that bikini. You should have been out here. Like if I had the awareness
Yep.
and the grace and the maturity that I have for understanding myself and
Yeah.
actually valuing what is important, I'd have been walking around naked after I had
Girl,
Cameron.
let
all
me
the time.
tell
I'd have
you.
been like,
I'd be
what?
walking around naked
Somebody said
now.
something about this body.
Listen.
Somebody
Yes.
said, but now
That's how I feel. I have the stretch marks because I'm dark, so they're like lighter than me. I'll never forget this day. I had a mirror. First of all, like you said, how you were underweight, I didn't realize I was underweight my whole life either. I was 120.
Yeah.
125 my
So you probably
whole
had a
life.
bobblehead,
Girl,
too.
I'm almost
Bro, I had
5'8".
a bobblehead. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn, you got a big bobblehead.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
when
like,
your
dang, my
body's
head
so
is so
little,
big because my body was
and
so
I've always
small.
had big boobs though, so I had big boobs and I was tiny, like a little pea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like the letter P,
Looking like a snap
I
pea.
know. But shout out to my booty. It's always been round. It was never really big, but it was always round. So thank God
you have
for
a nice
roundness.
butt.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do have a nice
Same.
And you have nice legs.
Thank you. But no, so I'll never forget. Like I had Amira, I was 124 when I got pregnant with her. I think I was like 145 when I delivered. After I had her, went right back down to 125, but I had those stretch marks. I went to my friend's house. And this is the moment when I realized like that self-consciousness, right? I just was like young. I'm like, yeah, I had a baby. I don't care. Put my bikini on. My stomach was flat. I just had stretch marks. And I'll never forget. I walked up to the pool and they were like, they didn't have kids, you know, still in their 20s, their 20-year-old bodies. And they had on like bikinis. And I remember like I just took my shirt off and I was like laying in the sun. And I remember them staring at my stomach, like just staring at it. Like, you really just gonna show your stretch
Is that
marks
what
in public?
happens? Right.
That's,
Had a trip.
yeah. And
Yeah.
they were just, and I know, like after that, I never wore a bikini again. But then now when I had Azara, like I lost the weight again too, like, you know, and I was at the beach and I just see women. This is what I learned. I see women with so many different body types and I'd be so jealous of them because they'll just wear a bikini
Like, just
with
confident.
their they don't
Yeah,
care what
I
their
love
stomach
it.
looks like. I do too. And I'm like, you know what's crazy is I'll look at them jealous. Like, I wish I looked like that. Like in my mind, I'm like, why doesn't my body look like it doesn't matter if someone wears something and they're confident, then I feel like
100%.
then I'm like,
Yeah.
I should look like that
top.
too. Why doesn't my body, like my weight carry that way or whatever? And it really is just because they're confident. And that's what
It's
I
mental.
learned. If you
That's it.
just
Yeah.
show up with your body,
gonna
with
check me,
whatever,
boo?
nothing, people gonna be
Who
like,
gon'
oh, okay.
check
Yeah.
me,
No
boo?
one's gonna say nothing
because
to you.
nobody can use
Confidence
anything
so
against
high.
you.
Oh yeah.
That you don't let them use against you.
Absolutely.
You don't use it against yourself.
Yep.
And that's literally like I literally see that. I mean, even if you look at people like we're in a very body positive movement right now, which I think is beautiful.
Yeah.
We have daughters. I think it's wonderful. Look at Lizzo. Lizzo be out here talking about say
Sure.
something to me.
Yeah.
And no matter what you think about whether it's healthy or not or whatever, she's like, you're not going to tell me. I know my lifestyle. I know how I
And
live. I
she's
know
so
what I do.
fucking happy,
and I'm
though.
so happy.
Yep.
And I'm not going to let your miserable ass of judgment think. And I sent you guys that video too about that woman.
Oh,
She was like a
yeah.
plus size woman and she has this very
With the
muscular
girl. I saw
fine
that and
husband.
I was like, this is so whack.
and people and it was so heartbreaking to
Yeah.
see that like it goes viral because people want to degrade that and
Yeah.
bring it down and say that it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for who?
Yeah.
And I love that she says all those people sliding into my husband's DMs are leading with their bodies, but my husband's not into that. So if you really wanted to get at him, you would know that it's more than that for
That's
him.
an insecurity within women, though. We feel like when we see someone proud of something that we've been told that we can't do, then we feel like it's the same with me being so outspoken. Girl, you know, people be like, oh, Chin. I'm like, he's fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm so confused. What the problem is, like, because you don't speak up doesn't mean that, like, there's not, Chin's
Right.
okay. Like, he likes
Right.
that about me.
He- yeah.
He
Right.
literally
He
was like,
embraces it.
I want to be with someone who is outspoken because
Right.
I don't like when women are timid. Like, because he's timid. That's probably why. He's
Yeah.
like, I need that energy. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't be with nobody like me either. Like, I need some. That's
You need-
way
you need
too
somebody to
much.
balance you
yeah,
out.
I need somebody to keep me calm. I don't want nobody to get turned up with me. We'd be in jail.
No, right.
But I feel like sometimes as women, when someone doesn't celebrate something about us and we see another woman being celebrated for that, like we'll get envious of that. And then instead of just being like happy for them, you want to tear them down. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like no one loves me for being being loud, so I don't like that loud girl. No one loves me for being big, so I don't like that. And then you try to like tear that woman down and be like, you need to change, blah blah, or he's gonna leave you. No, he's not.
No, he's
like,
not. You
just
don't
need to
know
find
why he loves her. He loves her for reasons that you don't even know.
But he could also be attracted to her. It's crazy to me that people don't think that bigger women are attractive. This people don't like. I know grown men who be like, I don't want to be with nobody who's super skinny.
Super tiny.
They don't like
ooh,
that.
It's kind of frail. Fuck, I'm gonna break you. Like, I'm like, it's a conversation.
But like, it's
men,
crazy
for sure.
that people think that there's only one body type that's attractive.
Yeah.
Like, you know, some men would be like, no, I like your little pooch, or that's sexy, or they'll be like, you have my babies, I love that. Like,
listen,
they don't.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is the craziest part. Is that like now I've been like in LA and in America for so long that like being in this society, especially, and LA is definitely a bubble, okay? Because everybody's beautiful and everybody has access to things out here and resources and you know, little tricks of the trade for the body. And so when I go home to Canada and I go home to Toronto, I go home and I see women with normal average size bodies. And when I say average size bodies, I'm talking like size 8 to 10.
Yeah.
And healthy, happy, walking around, functional. And it's so crazy because I did not realize how removed I was from that. And I remember when I went home with a friend of mine who was from the States, and they were just like, wow, women have different bodies here. And I was like, this is what women look like. Like women look...
That's Midwest too.
You know, like this notion of being completely snatched all the time and like
that's not
the BBL bodies and stuff like that. Like this is not the way the actual world works.
No.
But in our world of being an influence and online and public eye and entertainment, we see these very perfected images and it becomes our like social norm that we forget that the majority of the world doesn't really look and feel and look like. And so I think that like that's the thing that I'm coming to this realization now that like, especially to having a daughter, like back to the whole thing in my mind, I'm just sitting here being like, I'm working so hard and thinking about all these things and watching people have this conversation, listen to women struggle in the community of motherhood about their bodies and accepting their bodies and loving their bodies. And it's like, what? We had babies.
Yeah.
Our bodies change. Even if you didn't have babies, our bodies are allowed to change. We're allowed to be thick if we want to. We should be fine to be like, you know what? I want to put on some weight right now and be happy. I want to lose some weight and feel happy. I want to be healthy. And I think that's the mentality that I really want us as women to start adopting is healthy. Like, where is your mental and physical health at?
Yeah,
that's what's important.
What does health look like?
What
and
does
it's
health
gonna
look
look different on everybody. There's this girl on Instagram. I forget her name. She's like, I think she's Hispanic. She has like her husband's like black, but he's like super dark, and she's like lighter. And they have a little girl together, and then she has an older girl. And she does like all these fitness videos. She looks amazing.
Oh, I think you know what you're talking about.
Yes. And so she did this video
Leticia
the other.
or something?
I think so. Yeah.
And she's like gorgeous.
She's beautiful. Her hair's like long.
Yeah.
Wait, there's 2 Hispanic girls who do workout videos though. So there's one who's like always on Shade Room. They always post her. She does like a lot of promo, like her workout tips. There's her.
That's my homegirl Okay,
Fabiana. So then it must be the Leticia, the other girl.
Yeah.
I don't think they live in like Miami or something. I don't know. But she did this video the
I think
other
she's
day.
in LA.
Okay.
I think
I don't know.
Leticia's in
It's
LA.
sunny.
Yeah. And then Fabi is in, she's from Philly.
Okay.
Her story is, she actually wants to come on the podcast. This is really crazy.
Yes,
Okay.
come on, girl.
Girl,
I think I know
she
who
is-
it is.
come on here.
She's the one
Amazing.
she's the one that like poses and then you see her body and then she gets up close and she shows you skin texture and
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I love her.
In
Yeah.
person, she's like super curvy,
Yeah.
very like.
I love her body.
Same energy as us.
Yeah.
And she comes from. She was a single mom, and then
Okay.
her husband came along.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay.
she was like an abuser, like physically, mentally
Oh, and
abusive
she
relationship.
okay, so she
Switch the whole
shares about
thing.
that.
But yes.
Okay, back
I
to
know
Leticia.
exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
She did a video where like she's fit. Her body is banging to me. Like she works out, you know what I mean? It's her natural body. And some people were commenting like how you get rid of hip dips. And I'm like, what is this new thing about? It's basically like, so you know, like when people get work done, they'll get like fat injections here.
Into the hips?
So then you have hips.
Right.
But like, if
but
this
theirs
is your
goes
regular
in.
body, this right here is called a hip dip.
Okay.
Where it dips in.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay.
just a human body, right?
So it almost goes like this,
and then comes out,
Yeah, okay.
So she was like, they were like, "What workouts can you do to get rid of hip dips?" And she was like,
Get rid of them?
girl. This is
I
what
feel like you would want hip dips.
me
Or
too.
do you just, like, do
no,
you just
but
think
like
to put the muscle?
Kim in them, they don't have them because when you get fat, like when you
They
get a
fill it
BBL,
up.
they fill it up. So your body goes from tiny stomach to like immediate hip. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It does. It's not there. And I'm like, I think that shit is sexy. So then she was like, put her body next to like 2 pictures of people that like got work done, and she was like, I can show you workouts to do that, they're not going to go away. Like you have to get like fat whatever it's called,
transfer.
She's like, you have to get fat transfer in order for that, like to fill that space up. And even then I was like, oh my God, like we don't even know what a regular human body is supposed to look like anymore. People want like unrealistic things. And I look at like, I don't know if Meg Thee Stallion got work done, but her body looks natural to me. She looks like a young girl who works out, eats well, has money, and her body looks like thick
healthy.
It looks like thick
healthy.
girls with. My little sister looks like that. My little sister's waist is so tiny, and she has a big ass.
Yes.
And she works out, and you can tell. To me, I can usually tell when somebody is natural, like how the butt looks, how it sits.
Yeah,
and like,
absolutely. How it jiggles.
It's so crazy that we even question girls that have big butts now, because so many people have surgery. We're telling people who look that way naturally that's their body. It's not even their body.
Not even their body.
It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like our perception is so skewed, and it's so. There's so much that we're trying to decipher all the time. Like, is it real? Is it not real? It's just like, what are we? And it's only
Matrix, girl.
And it literally only happens because we're like, well, how do I? And how come I? For the most part. And that is just wild to me.
It's because people don't promote it. That's why one reason for me, like whenever I get my makeup done, I never let people contour my nose because I feel like
contouring of the nose is a thing.
But you have a like a thinner nose, so in my mind, why would you either of you contour your nose anyways? It's like 2 things. When Tiana Taylor first came out, I didn't realize that was like she was wearing like hairpiece or whatever. I didn't know because again, like you compare things to what you know. All the black girls I grew up with have hair. You know what I mean? No matter what grade their hair is, they had thick ass, big ass curly hair. So I was like, that's her hair is beautiful. Like that's her hair. I didn't know until like, I don't know about wigs and weaves really for real like that. I was wearing my hair covered. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't really in that world. So, but for me, like I always look at that, and then when you find out that something is like not real or people have contour, but you never see people with noses that look like mine, and it's because they do have noses that look like mine, but they're contouring them and covering them up. So I feel like it's super important too, like when you get to a certain place, to either be honest about your surgery or just try to be like as much as what you really look like as possible, because it also promotes the fact that if you look like this, you will never be in this place. Because if everybody who gets to that place then changes themselves to all be a part of the same mode of like, I'm going to get this nose job and this, you know, like you're still all looking this way. That's kind of the reason that promotes that unhealthiness in our communities and just across the board for young girls of wanting to look away because nobody even looks like what they look like anyway.
But I also think that like it's also an individual job, because the truth of the matter is that like it would be nice if everybody walked around saying with like I got this, but people aren't, and people don't have to really. You don't, right? You know what I mean? But I think it's up to like our mindset of being able to change, to stop looking for, is it real? Is it not? How do I? And how come I? Like it's the comparison for me. I think it's like that subliminal thing, and we're living in an age where it's easy. You can go and get micro treatments done at your wax place now. It's becoming such commonplace. So I feel like from a mental standpoint, it's really important to start to honor the confidence and the love within self first.
Absolutely.
Like that has to be it. And I'm saying it like in one sentence, but that's sometimes a lifelong journey.
It is, especially if you don't, but it's really hard in the beauty industry. If you don't see people who look like, it's the same thing. Representation matters, right? If you don't see black people in certain positions, you'll think that you can never be in that position. If you don't see someone that looks like you in a certain place, or being like on the cover of a magazine, or being front and center of a singing group, you know, it's always a light-skinned girl in the middle, or you like that type of stuff starts to mess with a person's mental, and they do feel like that's why so many people in Africa bleach their skin. Is crazy. This is Africa. Like we come from y'all, but it's like that colonization mentality has transferred over like continents. So it is really hard to, I think, for people to love themselves in general. Then you add social media on top of that, and then you add people, including myself, we're using filters and stuff. Like we don't even want to look at our own face. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. Like I feel like I love myself, but then like I definitely have those moments like, damn, Ashley, just slide to the left to the
just give
red.
yourself a little Paris on. And I will say this: I try to stay away from using filters that alter my face. I really only use the ones that have The ones that, for me, it's lighting.
Yeah, that's
like, it's
the
a
one I
lighting,
use
It's
too.
a lighting thing for me. So like the lighting is everything. So sometimes you're just not in good lighting, and like
Yeah.
a little bit of lighting goes a long way on the filter. But like
Yeah.
some of these ones, they add lashes, they make your lips
that's
fuller.
crazy.
That's the one I'm like, yeah, this is too much. I'm
It don't
like,
even look
go
like
ahead,
you-
smooth out that pimple. But anything
Right.
after that, I'm like, this is just too much.
No, you
Then
can't
you
do
see me
that.
in person,
That's what I was
you're
gonna
like,
say. Or going on a date, like that's wild if you dating and
Girl.
you just posting not your real face.
No, but
Yeah.
the craziest thing is they have video apps.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm just learning about. But because I'm late to the game and I don't want to know about it because I don't need that in my life. But there are video apps that you can record yourself full body and change the way your body looks.
It's so.
Oh, I gotta
people
tell
do
y'all a
all the
story
time.
when we get off of
Catfish.
here.
Crazy.
Like
No,
legit,
yeah, I gotta tell y'all a story
catfish.
when
Not
we're
just
not
like
recording.
not just like I photoshopped a photo of myself and made myself look a little more refined. Like a full body video of
Yep.
changing your body, which is insane. to
People we
me.
love do that every day. Like famous people will record videos, and it's like, what is it? 8GI, what is it, like alternating? What is it called? What is that word? AI or whatever? Artificial. That's like, yeah, it's not
It's
really
called
their
get
face.
off Instagram and go look in the mirror.
Not even
and work on your
Instagram.
mirror.
I'm talking about like videos on like TV, like movies and stuff.
Oh, you're
like
saying-
there-
okay, okay.
yes, like when people
I'm like,
make movies,
oh my
you
goodness.
can get like there is video like editing and stuff that will like give you a neck. Like a facelift or you know what I'm saying, make your face thinner, or like while you're recording anything. Yeah,
I
you
don't
don't have to look
know.
like yourself.
I literally, as I approach this new phase of my life, I'm more focused on how I feel rather than how I look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that to me, and of course, like looking great makes you feel great too.
Yeah.
I'm not
Naturally, they
Absolutely.
complement
they go
one
hand in
another.
hand.
Yeah.
But I really feel it's interesting. I was working out with my trainer, shout out to Alex, and she showed me a picture of a girl that she's working out with, and she sent her a picture and she's like, my body is bodying, girl. And she's like, oh my God, you look amazing. What have you been doing? And she says, just loving myself.
Oh wow.
It's so because it glows different. It don't
Yeah.
matter how
Glows.
tight, like you said, the confidence thing.
And
It doesn't
when-
matter how tight, how skinny, how it's like, no, if I'm loving myself.
yeah, but that helps
And
you
when
lose
you're-
weight too, though. When
and
you're
when-
happy.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the way you speak to your body, like you've seen those like things where you speak to a plant one way and then you speak to a plant
Oh,
with negative
wow.
words, and how it thrives and
Yep.
how it dies. Like our
It's
bodies,
real.
I believe, are the same. Like our cells, our energy. This is what we do. So we should be pouring things into it. Like the other day, I remember, like since I had Kaya, I know for a fact mentally I have not been showing my body. Like
Yeah.
I have been wearing baggier clothes. I've been like, I also haven't been really going nowhere. So, I'm in comfort mode. But I remember the other day I posted a video like where I was doing my hula hoop workout. And I just remember having this moment where I was doing it and I'm like, are you really going to post a video where you're wearing tight workout
You looked
clothes?
good in that video.
Yeah, but in my mind,
I got
it was such a mental exercise because I'm just like, I'm thicker. These breasts are bigger. These thighs, this belly's still sticking out. Like, and I literally had to use that as an exercise and practice to say, I need to be grateful for this body. This body is still moving. This body shows up. This body is walking from A to B. This body is
carried my
capable,
babies,
carried my
girl.
babies.
Yes.
Like I am not going to hide and shame this body the way that I have, or the way that I felt like I've needed to in the past. Like that's why, like moving forward for me, it is about how I feel mentally, about being grateful, about having grace, about giving space, about not having this like rush to timeline and trying to find what's going to get me there the fastest. Like I know right now in this stage of my life, I am actually being the most diligent I've ever been about my health. And that to me is success. And that to me is leading me to the place that I want to be. So
You
wherever
think if I talk to my underarms nicely, they'll?
I don't know,
They'll
girl,
stop sweating?
I've been sweating my whole life, so I don't know.
I have like titties in my
No,
underarms.
but you know the titties and my arms. No, but you know what the thing about it is that like I really just feel like if we on all of it, if we could just accept for what it is, because I feel like we can have all of us sitting here, could talk to each other differently the way that we would talk to ourselves.
That's true.
Right? Like
So
I would
true.
never sit back and have any of y'all talk bad about your bodies. I would be like, we're not
Yeah,
doing that today.
that's true.
What are you talking about? What do you talk, like, of course your body looks like you had a baby because you did.
Right.
How amazing. How
Like,
beautiful. And so I think that we should all be our best homegirls to ourselves.
Amen.
And be kind.
Hell yeah.
And that is the reminder that I want to live and want to impart on anybody who's listening today
Yes,
is
yes.
that you are fine the way that you are. Put your mental health first. Be healthy. Love your body. There is nothing wrong with your body.
Okay.
There is nothing wrong with your body. wherever it's at, whatever stage it's at, whatever iterations it goes through. There is nothing wrong with your body.
Your body is bodying.
Your body is bodying, girl. Okay. Love yourself. Love on yourself. Be kind. Speak to yourself kindly. I'm also going to listen back to this to myself.
Okay, me too.
And remember this. Remember this because, I mean, as all of us sit here, we have had babies, and that is no shame. That is some of our greatest accomplishments in this life.
Yeah.
And our bodies did that. And so I'm going to really, really work on being kinder to my body.
Yes.
And loving it as is.
And
at
if you
every
haven't
stage.
had a baby, put that crop top on, girl.
And if you have not had that, because let me tell you something, these double D titties, when they didn't sag forward, they used to sit up, and I still didn't want to wear no
Put
shirts
on
with
that
no bras.
bikini,
Girl,
let that belly out, tan your tummies.
don't forget tan your tummies, okay? Don't get called out on the internet like I did for having a pale belly and a brown body. Love the belly. All right. I don't know. I don't even know how this happened. This started as just
Is
like
that the end?
I think this is the end. But yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye. Say bye, Felicia.
Bye.